Hello, Kate. You said you were wearing an. What are you drinking? Well, drink check real quick.
It's just straight vodka in a jam jar.
Really?
Yep.
Fantastic.
That's how I roll.
So you said you were wearing an apron.
Yeah.
You started to tell me that you're wearing an apron and you're making latkes, and then I said, "Stop talking to me. Save it for the podcast."
I can't even imagine how Joe must feel at home these days.
Well, she's not on the podcast, so she's allowed to talk to me off the air.
I know, but like everything you do with her is probably generating content. So you're like, stop, I gotta go get my notebook, or stop, I gotta.
Yes.
I felt that way for Thanksgiving. I got a local treat, and I knew if I didn't cook it right, Jef was going to talk about it on the radio for the whole week. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for having me. I guess that's where I want to start, with a moment of gratitude. I'm delighted to be here with you boys.
Let's introduce the podcast.
Gingerbread Man down. Clean up on aisle podcast.
You're listening to Clean Up on Aisle podcast, the dirty truth about grocery stores. I'm Jef Harmatz, joined as always by Adam Fligsten. Hello, Adam.
Hello, Jef. How are you?
I am. We're doing an early record because we have a very special guest. I was at a birthday party last night. I'm a little hungover, if I'm going to be very honest with everybody. So
How late were you out?
not very late, but it started early.
Well, we drink.
Everything. I was. It was a friend's 60th birthday party, and it was 60s themed. And a lot of the people I work with are, and I'm kind of the same way. They like to get together and take shots and get lousy. So
I could do a shot.
I
only do shots.
Yeah. We're joined by, it's a holiday episode of our program. We're joined by an extremely special guest. It is my sister, Kate Harmatz. Hello, Kate.
Hello.
Hello. I'm delighted to be here. And I'm especially touched by that intro. And I'm extremely special, not just like a little special.
Well, you're my little sister. I've known you for most of my 41 years, and you've known Adam for a long time as well.
It's true. I'm mostly, Adam, I think of you as a brother too, which is why I'm delighted to be here. It's like hanging with the family.
Yeah.
I am really keen to be on this podcast just to clear my name, because I'm referenced a lot.
Okay. You have like a list of grievances. Should we start off with that?
No, I wouldn't say they're grievances. But I am surprised by the amount of times I am referenced. But I take that lovingly, Jef. I think maybe it's because I'm a part of your life, and you did see me and visit me recently. So maybe there was just a lot of content to go off of that.
Are you bothered by the amount of times that you're linked to the concept of jellied eels?
Yes, because it's my least favorite thing. And poor Claire, who you had on, like, you know, everything was, oh, my sister feels this way about jellied eels. She didn't even get to talk about the jar of jellied eels she had.
So what's the deal with the jellied eels? You used to live above a jellied eel shop, or not directly above, but mostly above a jellied eel shop. Now it's a fancy watchmaker.
I believe spectacles. I would have said eyeglasses, but Claire said spectacles, which tickled me. So yeah, it's a spectacle shop.
So right when you moved to London, which was that 2017, 2018, 2015?
Oh, Jef, it was 2014.
Oh my goodness. But you reported back that you lived like near a jellied eel shop, and I kind of stuck in my craw, and I'm just a bit obsessed with the jellied eels. So
it was extraordinary. It was like a second generation family shop. And there was a big photo, like a photo taken in the 1970s in the window of this shop. And it was of the guy who works in the shop making it. And he was holding a jellied eel in his mouth and smiling. And it was just dangling down. And he has a big pot belly. So the eel kind of like dangled down over his pot belly. It was just disgusting. Clearly he was proud of it because it was in the window.
And did you ever try a jellied eel?
No, because the smell was repulsive, which your listeners will know how I feel.
Yes. We have a friend, I don't know if we name him on the podcast or whatever, but our friend Joe, who used to live with me and my partner in Silver Lake and now lives in the desert as well. He's an Australian guy, lived in London for a long time. And he said he used to go to that particular jelly eel shop and get jelly eels and like hop on the train and take them to the end of the line where his grandma lived.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm thinking like a jellied eel pie is like a durian. Like they should have signs on the train where you can't bring jellied eels onto the train. Like they do have those no durian signs on the train in I think Malaysia,
like Thailand. Yeah, I saw those. So I mean, you know this. I swam. I was on the swim team in high school.
Okay.
And there was a scent to the locker room early morning. So they cranked up the radiators in the locker room because we would start swimming practice at 6 a.m. And high school locker rooms smell terrible, as is. They smell like old shoes and body odor. But at 6 a.m., when it's really warm and kind of steamy, it also smells strongly of chlorine. And the jellied eel shop emits the same scent that the high school like natatorium locker rooms.
Oh, so you think they use that
Same
type
odor.
of cleaner to like wipe off the counters? Because if they didn't, it would just linger. Yeah.
It's just like a sour combination of all the wrong things, in my opinion. So maybe it's trauma. I can't go in, but it's just the worst smell to me. So would never even put a foot in there.
All right. Now it's gone. Now it's spectacles. But when I was visiting you, we did walk past a different eel shop, and you said, no, please, actually don't go in there. Is that true?
I knew we were at this. I did that. Yes, I said that. I knew we were at the start of the day, about to spend 10 hours together.
You didn't want to have to deal with the aroma for me carrying around the pie for the rest of the day.
No.
You could have gotten
Also,
a shooter.
The only way I would have allowed that shooter to go into your mouth is if it was like actually shot through a straw. Like you didn't touch it. You didn't have any chance for the gel to like get stuck in your mustache or your beard so that you would then carry it around all day.
But I had a great time in London, and we did go to a lot of fabulous markets, I guess of local interest. And we have so much to get to, but I loved that your local shop in London in the Clapton neighborhood is called Palm Springs, which is not too far from where I live. And I thought that was very amusing. And sorry, guy in the background there.
I don't know who that is. It must be the guy running away with the money from the heist.
Yes. But is that your main shopping store, Palm Springs? Like it's a local shop? We talked about this with Claire a little bit, that there's local shops and then there's like big chain stores.
Yes.
So
I have 4 shops near me that I rotate between. But again, for all you listeners, you know my values now. I like to put my money towards the places I want to exist in the world. And this is the loveliest guy with the best selection of things. So that's primarily where I shop.
all right. And it's walking distance from your house. It's like on the way back from where your kids go to school, my little British nephews. And that you can pop in and get a sweet or something, or a cappuccino. Yeah.
Not jelly deal, thank God. Otherwise, it wouldn't be my favorite place.
So I want to get into the holiday stuff. And I guess before we start, well, this is a little grocery. I have a treat, and I don't know if Adam's going to consider it a treat or not. You just did a big swig of your vodka. So I was going to perhaps pitch Adam on a shot of Bekarovka.
Wow.
Have you ever had Bekarovka, Kate?
No, I haven't even heard of it.
And Adam is giving a very quizzical look, so I'm going to assume you've never had this as well.
No, definitely never had it. I mean, there's so many herbal like liquors with a bunch of herbs thrown in there. It's hard to differentiate that.
This is one of them.
Yeah.
So,
And from what country?
this is from the Czech Republic.
Cool.
And we used to go to some friends' Christmas party, and they would keep a bottle of this just for Christmas. They described it as Christmas in a glass. And I don't know where they got it in Los Angeles, but there is a fancy grocery store that I like to go to in Palm Springs called Jensen's. And Kate, I know you have a love for Jensen's as well. You're praising to the sky. Why do you like Jensen's so much?
So my husband and I had a place in Lake Arrowhead where there is one of like the 5 Jensen's in the world. Do we know how many there are? 4?
I think
5?
there's maybe 5, less than 8.
Bottom line, it's the right amount of Jensen's, right? When there's too many of something,
It starts
no
to
good
get whacked.
anymore.
Yes.
Yep. And this Jensen was extraordinarily expensive, but my God, did they have everything you could possibly need? It like catered to the private chefs of the lake homes on Lake Arrowhead. So it was a real pleasure to go up to the mountain house, shop for 3 days on a Friday, and then cook with things like duck fat and almond meal. And, you know, that they were out of the fresh squeezed orange juice on the counter. And you'd say, this is a very British thing to do, to ask a question when you're trying to point something out. Excuse me, is there any orange juice left? He'd say, oh, give me 3 minutes. I'll go squeeze you some.
But you guys turned me on to Jensen's. The first Jensen's I ever went to was the one in Arrowhead. And when we moved to the high desert, we started going to the one in Palm Springs. It is so good. And their liquor selection is extraordinary. There's like a real charming chap who like manages the liquor section, who's always happy to like say, oh, can I help you out with anything? And like, it's a grocery store, but I think they have like one of the best liquor selections of all time. And they have the Bekarovka. And I did buy it last year. And we did only break it out last Christmas. Adam, are you comfortable having a little Bekarovka this holiday?
I'm waiting for my shot. I'll break it more by 4. It's not that strong. Yeah, I know. But I know.
It's just early in the morning for you guys. Have you already had coffee?
I've had coffee, and we're having a hard kombucha, which has caffeine in it as well.
I have had coffee.
Yes.
Is there anything else in your stomachs?
No.
I had some yogurt, vegan yogurt.
All right.
So yeah.
I've got, and I want to talk about all of our holiday parties as well. I've got a long holiday party litany for today. But Kate, thank you for joining us to the holiday season, Christmas in a bottle, Bekarovka.
Bekarovka. Is it okay? Cheers. Bekarovka does sound like something you say.
In terms of liquor with a bunch of herbs shoved in, it's not the worst.
Okay.
That's all I can.
All right. It's brownish. We served this at our Christmas party last year, and everybody said it tasted like Fireball.
Huh.
It's very cinnamony.
It's got cinnamon.
It's more subtle than Fireball.
Anise in there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I would like to fill up a kiddie pool and invite you guys over to try all of the Eastern European like post-dinner aperitifs, and you can tell me which one to serve at my chicken shop.
I feel like they all taste 85% the same.
Okay. I think this one is more cinnamony. I think that's perhaps why my friend used to say it reminded her of Christmas in a glass.
Yeah.
And when we were drinking this at her parties, this was pre-Fireball. So
What do you mean pre-Fireball?
well, maybe Fireball existed, but
Been around for a while.
the Fireball has had a moment. We all have to acknowledge that Fireball is like,
Well, they changed the recipe. Do you know that?
when did they change the recipe?
As of maybe 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
To do what?
Not whiskey anymore. Not legally whiskey.
Oh.
Anymore. It used to be whiskey.
Huh?
Yeah. So they cheapened it, the liquor.
Well, okay. Maybe when I say before, I thought Fireball had a big come up in the last decade.
I think they did because of like venture capital, like pushing marketing, but they've been around forever.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I had never had Fireball the first time I tried Bekarovka. So maybe Fireball has like, watered it all down, the joy of having a cinnamony, schnapsy kind of shot like that. But I would do the try 'em all next time I'm in London, Kate.
That would be very fun. I'm gutted you didn't tell me to get the same drink you were drinking, because I would love to enjoy that with you. I'm interested in Christmas in a bottle.
Okay,
A bit for myself.
I should have given you the heads up. I didn't know if you could. I'm sure you're closer to the Czech Republic than we are. I bet you could track down some Bekarovka.
I probably could. I'm excited. My downstairs neighbor is Czech. You stayed in her house.
Oh, we did stay in her house. Can we say what your neighbor does for a living? It's a little.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
What does she do?
Oh, she is a silk scarf designer, specifically she was for the Queen of England and now specifically for Buckingham Palace. So she illustrates interior scenes from Buckingham Palace onto silk scarves and sells them in the gift shop. But should you Google a picture of Queen Elizabeth II and see her wearing a silk headscarf, it was designed by my downstairs neighbor. That is her job.
One of the coolest jobs somebody can have.
Are there ever any corgis in the designs? Scarves?
No, she doesn't reference animals. She's careful not to. Because then I think it becomes a bit kitsch, but these silk scarves are really beautiful and refined.
My tastes are corgis. Sure, she's more beautiful and refined. I get there.
There's definitely some shops where I can get you a corgi scarf. They usually have a lot of magnets out front, and they're on the busy shopping streets. I'll find you one.
Like photoshopped, postcards and stuff like that. Sure, yeah.
Adam, I hope it's all right to talk about on the podcast, but you just left your dog with a dog sitter for the first time.
A stranger, complete stranger, all alone by his lonesome.
I didn't know you had a dog.
I got a dog as of maybe a month and a half ago. Yeah.
Congratulations. What kind of dog?
He's a little puppy. He is a half Chihuahua, half Terrier, but I would say the Terrier is the major dominant gene. And he's a little scared little guy, but he's doing all right.
So is he terrified of Sunday?
He hasn't met Sunday, and I'm terrified to have him meet Sunday.
Sunday being my dog, who is an accredited maniac.
Yeah.
My children, who are 7 and 9, are terrified of Sunday.
So everybody I've read, and I hope I'm not repeating myself, say that because you're not supposed to have the dog meet other dogs until they have all their vaccinations and stuff like that. So he's finally got kind of cleared for that. But they say that the first dog that they meet should be an old, slow, chill dog that barely moves. And Sunday is the opposite of all.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Look, son, she learned it like her parents, her dad and her mom are both huge psychos as well. So
yeah. But I think right now, today might be his first time playing with dogs.
All right.
This is going to be it. Yeah.
What's his name?
Todd. Todd.
Todd. That's cool. Send me a picture, Adam.
All right, I will.
Speaking of my dog, and we're recording this pretty close to when we're going to release it. We woke up to and we don't need to get into the sad news of the morning, but some sad news in Australia this morning, and we were pretty bummed. And my dog is hates loser energy, so whenever I'm really sad and I want I need a hug from my dog is get away from me, loser, you sad sucker. She only wants to hang out with cool, happy people. And if we're sad and we need some companionship or some comfort, my dog is get away, loser. You cannot sit here.
She's like a high school mean girl.
Absolutely. She really is.
That's perfect. That's a perfect description of Sunday. She walks into a room, and if she's not the star, she's pissed off.
Exactly. So, all right. Speaking of cool stuff, I have to tell you a thing. So, Kate, we had this on the books for a while, and you said, "Can we start recording as soon as possible? I have a different function to get to, a Hanukkah party."
Make me sound an asshole right away.
Well, that's what I'm here to do. And I was going to text you this and no, save it for the show. I think it's a pretty cool response. So you're going to a Hanukkah party today. The day we're recording this is the first night of Hanukkah.
Yeah.
And you're going to a Hanukkah party. And I think it's a cool reason to show up late to a party. Oh, I had to be on a podcast. Is that a cool answer? Is that cool?
It's a very cool answer. But then there will be follow-on questions whose podcast? And then I'm my brother's, which makes it sound like I know I'm an extremely special guest. Okay.
Yes.
But but it makes it sound like nobody sought me out to be on the podcast. And then the next question will be, what is the podcast about? And I'll say, grocery stores.
That's a cool answer. Very cool thing that you get to do.
You know what? You're right. I am so happy to be here. And I think this is my favorite podcast. So
Thank you.
Whoever has feelings about that can have their feelings. They aren't mine.
So this is the first night of Hanukkah. Who's throwing the Hanukkah thing?
So we have like 3 Jewish families that we do all the Jewish holidays with. And none of us are religiously Jewish. We just all grew up within the Jewish culture and would like to uphold some sense of community and culture for our children. So that's what we commit to, about like 3 or 4 celebrations a year. And it's always at my one friend's house who happens to live across the street. And then my other friend, Jef, you met him, it's Elliot, who I think is your doppelganger.
Yes.
Is a chef. So he comes up with these really elaborate themes for the menu of each Jewish holiday. And this menu is, he's calling it Crypto Portuguese, because it's based on the Portuguese Jews who were in hiding because they feared persecution. So how do we have a Portuguese menu, but maybe include a little pork, because we're trying to show that we're not Jewish, but we're also not that Jewish and we love pork, but we're celebrating a Jewish holiday and still trying to honor some of those traditions.
So do you know what the menu is going to be, or you're going to find out soon?
I'm going to find out soon. I am we have to do latkes because the kids love them. So that's sort of outside the boundaries of Crypto Portuguese. But I did make a Crypto Portuguese dessert. I made an almond orange cake.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm gonna bring up some old grievances here.
Okay.
That's okay. When me and Adam were roommates in Bushwick, you brought these like corn muffins one time, and I'll never let them go. And I always said, "Oh, you're such a good baker." And then for many years, you got mad at me, and you always said, "Oh, I'm not a good baker, and I don't actually bake anymore." And now you're baking again.
Yes. So that changed during the pandemic. I didn't bake for a really long time. You're right. I always thought I was a terrible baker.
So your mom is a very good baker.
Yes.
Amazing. The best baker.
Yeah. Is that why? Were you intimidated by that?
I think so. I thought I could achieve her level of baking quite easily, and I was disappointed every time I baked. But I did a lot of baking in college. It was what I would do to procrastinate, doing actual work. So I'd go buy some ingredients and bake stuff. And that's when I think I brought those corn muffins to you guys in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm. Well, I always remember your baking very fondly, and I'm happy to hear your baking part, even though you admonished me for calling you a baker for many, many years.
My husband made fun of me a lot. So as I was getting to know him in the teens, like everything I attempted to bake, this was my dark period, was either overly dry or underdone. It was just, everything was a disaster. So I didn't even attempt to bake for a really long time. And Tom made fun of me for it too. Like, "Oh God, are you baking again, Kate?" But then, we had nothing else to do in 2020. So I baked it back up. And I started actually reading recipes for fun. So you start to figure out the ways in which people talk about certain techniques and the reason why you need stiff peaks on your egg whites before you fold them in rather than just kind of winging it. So I started to understand some of the principles of baking, and that's when I think I became a better baker.
And what are you making again today?
Today I made an almond cake.
Okay. With almond
flour right here. Yeah. Almond flour. It's one of these, there's no flour. It's kind of dense and chewy. So it doesn't rise that much. And there's orange syrup on top.
So today is the day we're recording. This is the first day of Hanukkah. Just so you know, we invited my parents and our aunt out they wanted to come out last night, and we had this party. My dad said, I don't know if we want to get into this. My parents will absolutely 100% listen to this episode.
Oh.
But I think my dad was trying to get out of going to our more extended family holiday. And he's like, if I see Jef, and then I can maybe sneak out of the big family holiday, because it'll be like, oh, I saw some family already this holiday season. He asked about coming out last night. We had this 60th birthday party that's been on the books for like months and months and months. And so we said, we can't do Saturday night, but why don't you come out Sunday? Our aunts, they had Hanukkah plans with my dad's sister. And we said, just bring them all out. Just bring the whole gang out to the desert and we'll do a thing. And they declined. So we don't really have any Hanukkah plans ourselves tonight. My sister and I, we were raised... Well, my dad's Jewish and our mom's Catholic, so we do them both. If just to be very clear. And Adam, are you half Jewish too?
Yes, yes, pretty much the same. My dad is Jewish. My mom is not Catholic; is another type of Christian. I don't really know. Not raised religious whatsoever. Did Hanukkah, did Christmas, but like just as a thing to do, not as any. But I would say culturally, the Jewish side has always been because of I love all my relatives. They're all very sweet, but for whatever reason, my Jewish relatives spend a lot of time with them and stuff like that. So, yeah.
And I would say I'm I feel more culturally Jewish because of my neuroses and anxieties, but
I'll second that.
And we don't need to get too deep down that well, but
that's most of our podcast.
My partner yesterday was asking, like, is that like why is it that way? And I'm like, I think it's like a cultural thing. I think like it comes from the passed on from the parents to the child, the neuroses, the anxieties and stuff. And like obviously there's a lot of like weird Catholic stuff as well, but our dad is pretty anxious and our mom is not as anxious. I don't know if she's got like quote unquote stereotypical Catholic guilt or anything like that. Any thoughts, Kate?
Sure,
Keep in mind,
it's in there. I know. Hi, Mom and Dad. I'm sure it's in there, but my mom keeps it real cool. And I'm married to a Catholic. You know, he went to Catholic schooling up until he was 18. His parents still go to mass, and he talks a lot about burying your feelings. So it's there. It's just buried really, really, really deep.
Yes.
I think my parents have like a Diane Keaton, Woody Allen thing going on, like that Annie Hall sort of relationship.
I don't know, but here in 2025, you don't really want to be compared to Woody Allen. That's maybe not the number one guy that you want to say, oh, you really remind me of Woody Allen. I will ask Adam what you're doing for Hanukkah, but I will tell you what we're doing instead of having Hanukkah. We're going to a dog park Christmas party. Okay. All the maniacs from the small dog park here in Yucca Valley, we socialize outside of the dog park. When they redid the Yucca Valley dog park, they it was closed for 6 months, and so everybody started like. It was the dog park underground where all the small dog park people would like rotate hosting at their house. So every night of the week, somebody would host the small dog park in their yard. And it was really fun and really cool when that was happening. It's nice to be back in the dog park, but we have a history of going and socializing with all of the small dog park people outside of the dog park. We brought our dad to one of these parties, and Dad is like obsessed with telling people. I was at this insane party where there's 50 dogs like running in and out of the house all the time, and like just like a pretty, it's a very nice house, but it's not like it's just a nice normal house, and there's 50 dogs and 25 people or 30 people just drinking and getting wild. So that's what I've got going on today.
Someday maybe I could meet some of these people, because I do have a small dog, but right now he's too afraid to meet all these people, all these dogs. So yeah,
I love this like rotation of little small dog speakeasies. Did you have to have a password to get into these parties?
No, it's just they would always text, oh, it's going to be at Myra's, or it's going to be at Gila's or Richard's or whatever. So Myra, who is usually hosts the parties now that we're out of the dog park underground situation, most of the dog park parties are at this one particular house with a pool and like a big backyard. And
do the dogs swim in the pool?
They have. Last time they had this party, a small dog like stumbled and fell into the pool, and like it was a kind of a dangerous situation.
Okay.
But it's always a potluck. We've got a guy who has gotten very into baking from British Bake Off. So he is making a gingerbread village, I believe.
He doesn't make any tacos.
No, because Tankers.
Yeah. Guacamole.
I don't know if we want to go down this particular rabbit hole, but I watched the new Knives Out movie on Friday, and I gave it the Paul Hollywood review. I said it was overbaked and underproved. That was my take on the narrative of the film. But it's a potluck, and so Adam, you've had these before, but a big tradition in my family is we have dolma. It's a lamb and rice dolma served with salsa. And we do that at almost every single holiday we do. My mom grew up on a farm with grapes, with vineyards. So every Easter you go pick baby grape leaves. You make the dolma for almost every holiday after that. And I wanted to make lamb dolma for this potluck. And we went to grocery outlet yesterday, locally. They were out of, you can usually get grass-fed Australian lamb for like $6.99 a pound. Mm-hmm. And they didn't have it, so we had to go to a second grocery store where it was twice as expensive. It was $11.99 for organic grass-fed a pound of lamb, and it was heartbreaking to do that.
Was it not Australian either?
It was us. We were not allowed to buy non-Australian lamb in my house.
It's from Australia.
Yes.
I mean, that's $6.99. Like to grow lambs in Australia and then ship them over to not just to Southern California, but to the depths of the high desert.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, it's an incredible.
$11.99 seems more in line with what that should cost.
I think the $11.99, I think there's maybe a sweet spot between those two things where maybe it reflects the actual work and labor and life of the animal and travel time and stuff. But
I'm not even talking about the animal. I'm just logistics.
But $11.99 is outrageous, and they only had 2 packs left, and I wasn't going to go to a third store. And I said, this is my holiday thing. This is what we do in my family. We make lamb dolma. I'm going to spend the money to get the lamb right now. So I bought the last 2 packs, and my partner and I spent yesterday making dolma and watching The Mask. So,
all right.
Yeah.
So you have them ready to go.
Yeah, we got my partner's home squeezing lemons right now, and we're gonna lemon them up and take them out to the party today. So
nice. That's something I really miss. Just the smattering of things at our family's Christmas parties. It was such a mishmash. It made no sense what was on that table. It was everybody's favorite things, like smoked salmon, tamales. Dolma.
I will be smoking the salmon this week for our extended family Christmas as well. So
nice.
Before we get into
you taking on that, yeah.
Well, before we get into the smoked salmon, I've got to ask Adam if you're doing anything for Hanukkah today.
Well, I'm picking up a friend of mine,
Jewish guy,
a Jewish guy.
A Jewish. It better be on Hanukkah.
He is not the most. I mean, like everybody we know, he's not the most sentimental Jew, so he probably doesn't give a fuck. I do have a menorah, but I don't have any candles, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I got to get candles.
Well, if all of our local grocery stores, we'll do an episode about this fully one day, but I don't know if they have these in London. But Kate, you know that here in America, they always have the Jewish section at the grocery store.
Yeah. I love that. And then it comes a little bit forward, twice a year during Passover and Hanukkah. They just move it to a more visible, end of the aisle.
Yeah.
Get your horrible manischewitz, the grossest thing in the world, and matzahs and matzah balls and gefilte fish.
The fish.
And they always have Hanukkah candles. They will have Hanukkah candles for you, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that. Do I care enough to do that? At some point, probably in the next 8 nights, I will probably get some Hanukkah candle. But am I going to rush out to get them today? Probably not.
Oh, you got to rush out and get your friend a Hanukkah gift. It's the day of it's the first day.
Get socks or something.
I'd say lighting candles is the most religious thing you can do to celebrate Hanukkah. There's a lot of other things you can do to celebrate Hanukkah. So if you're not that religious, do all the other things.
What other things? That's all I know. I mean,
you can play dreidel. Yeah.
Dreidel. Yeah.
If anyone can remember how to play that, you can make latkes, which is my favorite Hanukkah thing to do.
I do like making latkes, and maybe I will try some latkes. Not tonight, but maybe tomorrow. But yeah.
Speaking of the candles, so my partner is a Australian white, and she is very into like
A wine.
what?
Sounds like a wine.
Yeah, she's a savvy bee.
Yeah.
I don't think she'd mind that comparison either.
But a savvy bee is what we call Sauvignon Blanc in our household, the savvy bee. And
That's that, Jeff.
not everybody gets that, but she's very into the Jewish stuff. She loves Passover, she loves Hanukkah. She's insisting that we do candles. We have our old childhood menorah, which is a super weird menorah that I think they probably used to sell them at Jewish community centers in the front lobby.
Wait, you have the one with the people with the hands reaching up?
Yeah, it's like this
Really?
it's like a pottery clay kind of clumsy-ish thing of like 8 guys holding up candles or whatever. It's very heavy. I saw somebody else like selling one on like Facebook Marketplace or whatever. Like they pop up from time to time. It's not some special antique family heirloom that we've got. It's like they probably just were selling them at a like, distribution channel at JCC's in the day. So
I can't
is it all right?
have it.
Why? Would you like it?
I mean, it's like our childhood menorah. I thought mom and dad still have it. And then I'm questioning why'd they give it to you? What else have they given to you? Why didn't they give it to me?
I mean, I don't think we need it. But my partner is insisting on doing Hanukkah. She loves the stuff. And the first time we were in our current house, she bought like, she's like, oh, just like get candles, just whatever candles. And so like, she was like trying to fit like giant candles into this menorah. She didn't buy specific Hanukkah candles. I think she like shaved candles down to try and like jam them in there.
I have gotten Hanukkah candles that are way too wide. Yeah, I squeeze them in, but yeah.
Those are probably Shabbos candles. Like they also sell those in the Jewish section at the shop, but there's 2 different kinds
They
of
were listed as Hanukkah candle, and I think they got their ratios off or something. So yeah.
Do they have a Jewish section at the store in London? Is there enough Jewish guys out there?
Interestingly, I do live very close to the Hasidic neighborhood. So in my local chain grocery stores, there is a Jewish section. They don't sell candles, though. They don't go that deep. They just have a couple kosher items. But yes, it's Tesco. Thank you for knowing that.
Are you a Tesco Club Card member?
I'm not a Tesco Club Card member, no, as I don't shop there enough.
You got it on?
Everyone's obsessed. Do you know about the meal deal that you get with the Tesco Club Card? Actually, you get the meal deal without the Tesco Club Card. So what's very popular in British grocery stores is these triangular packaged sandwiches. So, cut a sandwich in half diagonally and you get 2 triangles, and then they're packaged in a triangle box. So there's a whole, and it's usually at the front of the grocery store. You have drinks, you have the triangle sandwich packaged, triangularly packaged sandwiches, and then you have crisps baskets. So you get 1 drink, 1 sandwich, 1 crisp. It's like $3.99. That's the meal deal. So there's a huge queue in the grocery stores at lunchtime because everybody relies on the meal deal in these tough economic times.
And just for our American listeners, it's £3.99 sterling, not U.S. dollar.
Correct. Yeah, but still a deal, right?
Absolutely.
I know. All of you dollar-minded people are thinking that's unheard of, but even when you convert the number, it's still a really good deal.
So where do you get your Hanukkah candles then? Like, if you can't get them at the Jewish section?
I have to go to the Judaica stores. In Stamford Hill, the Hasidic neighborhood. So I have to go up there to get a challah, to get Shabbos candles. Not that I really use them, but once in a while I have them, and to get Hanukkah candles. So whenever we do Jewish holidays with the family across the street and the rest of that crew, I got to go stock up on supplies.
And when you're returning from the Judaica store on the bus, would you say that you're a hollaback girl? Sorry.
Yeah. I'll always take that. When I walk into my neighbor's house with a challah, I do always say, challah, that we get to. I think they just think I'm like
And so
and I do funny things.
So you're doing latkes. Adam, you said you had a good vegan latke recipe.
Yeah.
What goes in that?
I mean, the only thing you really need is something to bind the potatoes together. So it's some kind of a
Like one ring.
potato starch, sort of, like one, like some kind sort of or like flax or egg kind of thing. It's pretty easy. It's
Okay.
Everything else is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And then you just fry it in oil. It's good.
And Kate, what's your latke situation? Latke check, everybody.
Very simple. I put the potatoes and the onion in the food processor together, squeeze out the water, crack some eggs in there, salt, pepper, and fry them up.
All right. We don't have a food processor.
I have a blender that now functions. It has like a specific blade I can put in there. And that's really changed the game because you do not want to sit there shaving about a dozen potatoes.
Yeah.
It's a real pain.
That's I don't have a food processor right now, and you kind of need one for that specific. Yeah.
I mean, we make when we do our dog food, we just get the grater out and grate carrots and squash and stuff for her. So.
Yeah, but if you're making latkes, that's so much grating, and yeah,
It is. Yeah, I would not go back. So I understand if you don't have the food processor, you don't have the specific tool, it's a real pain.
And let me ask this, and I think I know the answer, but y'all might have a different sense of this. Latke, which is the traditional Hanukkah thing, potato pancake fried up in oil, and you can't buy them pre-made in a store, right? Like, you can buy hash browns and French fries, and I don't know if you can even buy just straight up shredded potatoes, but like, there's not a box of latkes at the grocery store. I've never seen that. Have y'all?
You're right. No. You would think it would be the kind of thing like a hash brown where it could come frozen. But I think the specific like thinness and wonderful crispiness of a latke just can't be achieved like any other way.
Not even by the Orida company, like our friends at Orida, who make the fabulous tato tots.
Oh my God, anything's possible. Like if you want a tater tot or your hash brown, just go buy a tater tot or hash brown.
Don't you think that, like, I'm surprised that it's not a seasonal thing, that they haven't like started like, oh, in time for the holidays, here's, next to the eggnog, it's your pre-made latkes for the lazy Jews out there.
Trader Joe's, I'm sure, has attempted this, right? Has anyone checked? Do we know for sure that Trader Joe's isn't selling pre-made latkes?
We're pretty far from a Trader Joe's. How close are you to a Trader Joe's, Kate?
Jef, you're closer. Adam, you are closer to a Trader Joe's than I am. Yeah. So I like that none of us have any clue what's going on at Trader Joe's these days, because if I'm talking to any other group of people, that's all they want to talk about is the latest at Trader Joe's.
absolutely. So we're not very close to a Chick-fil-A. And one thing I do enjoy, and politics aside, is I enjoy the French fries at Chick-fil-A. When I was at Grocery Outlet recently, they had those kind of waffle fries. And I was like, oh, cool. I'll just make them. And this is getting to the frozen latke thing. Like, I didn't make the oil. I didn't make like a real oil the way you should have done. I just kind of tried to quickly cook them in an oven or whatever. And it didn't, like, you have to cook them right. You have to cook them with a hot oil, like, essentially. So if they were to do frozen latkes, you'd have 90% of people are going to cook them incorrectly and they're going to taste like shit. Every taste.
I mean, we mess with oven fries in my household. Like,
yeah.
I will buy like the crispy shoestrings or the tato tots. I think tater tots is like a registered trademark of Orida. So you have to say potato puffs or tato tots to keep it generic. But we'll mess around with the shoestring fries. Like if we're doing mussels at home or we're doing burgers, like we had a big burger party recently where we browned the beef and like did all the ingredients from scratch and then smashed them in the backyard. And then everybody was like, oh, you were going through all of this like to do about making the burgers. And like, here's a bag of Orida fries. And it was fun. People enjoyed it. But there's probably like an approximation of two, as oven fry is to French fry. There must be like an oven latke that you can make like from Orida or whoever. It's got to exist. I'm assuming that the reason that we don't have it is because they don't think it would sell.
Yeah.
It's like not enough people would buy it. I'm not, regardless of the quality, the market's not there for it.
Yeah.
I think so. I just think a latke is so fragile. Like the magic of a latke is how the little like shreds of the potato finger outward, like spread, radiate, outward and get really, really crispy.
Yeah.
And are completely overdone. And then you bite into it and you get the mushiness in the
soft
center.
and
But
soft,
it's like 3 bites, right? 3 bites of magic and that's it. And it's so hard to replicate unless it's fresh.
I mean, so I'm in a household of 2, not counting my dog, and you're going to be a household of 2 when you pick up that Jewish guy from the airport today, Adam. Do you make latkes here too? Would you make latkes just for 2?
Yeah, I would. Am I going to? Well, in the few days that he's in town, probably not.
Okay.
But I would. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are, your friend is a future guest of this podcast, so we're going to do an episode with him when he shows up.
Yeah.
But you're having a get together in a couple days, Tuesday.
Yeah.
This episode will be out post get
I
together.
could make latkes for the get together. That's not a terrible idea. I don't have a food processor. Yeah.
Latkes are, everybody appreciates a latke. And it's a great base for lots of things to go on top. And you can make those things fresh or you can buy those things in the store.
What do you guys historically put on there?
So my kids love an applesauce, which
that's what I like as well.
has yet to be made. So we're doing an applesauce, but I also love a creme fraiche and a caper. And last year we did an incredible smoked fish platter next to the latkes. So with the creme fraiche, you could put on smoked mussels or like a smoked, salmon. Or
What do you call what's the Spanish? Is it a conservas plate? The Spanish term for like when you have all the tinned fish and things like that?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, I'm not getting it quite right. Might be.
I'm not doing tinned fish. I mean, we're going to a Scottish smoker.
Oh, okay.
Who's like a purveyor of fine smoked fish. And we just say, give us your platter. And then we set it out next to the latkes, and it's wonderful.
I think we've done caviar on our latkes in the past. We had creme fraiche,
Excellent.
caviar.
That sounds great.
Yeah. And also so mixing both of our sides, smoked salmon is a big part of our Christmas celebration. At the hot smoked salmon, not so much like lox, but more like when you go to the grocery store and it's like pepper crusted and stuff. And we have done, because of the proximity of Hanukkah and Christmas, we've had our Christmas smoked fish to put on top of latkes, and that's been pretty good. So
I've learned so much about cooking potatoes since moving to this country, since moving to the UK.
Okay.
So having chips, thick cut fries, that's what we call chips, for dinner is a very typical thing, or roast potatoes. So potatoes come in 2 forms very frequently in the standard British household, and they always must be boiled first. I don't do that with the latkes because they're thin enough. But really the secret to just an excellent potato dish is boil first, then douse them in oil and fry at the highest possible heat very quickly. So we do that for chips, oven baked chips, and we do that for roasted potatoes. And the key is once you've boiled them a bit to shake them so they get a little I call them hairy, but they get textured on the outside because that's what crisps up very quickly once you fry it.
What consistency do you cook it? When do you know it's done? When you're boiling?
I guess once you stick a fork in and they slide right off. You don't want them to be too tender. You don't want to start to see starch in the pot. That's when you know you've gone too far.
The UK is very known for potatoes, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
I don't
Probably Ireland more so.
Yeah,
No?
that's some of it. Some of Ireland is part of the UK.
Yeah, but my kids eat an entire potato for lunch at the school. That's what they're served. So yeah. Here's your jacket potato.
That was the thing when you took us out to when you took us out to a British breakfast. We went to a fry up restaurant, And we had like the baked beans and the eggs and the black pudding and all that stuff. The giant mountain of toast. I'll never forget that. And I don't want to shame anybody for doing what they're doing. And this guy will never hear the episode, but there was a guy in the back, a very, very large man, and his breakfast was 2 jacket potatoes, or what we would call baked potatoes here in U.S. America.
Were they covered, loaded with stuff?
I think they at least had butter on them, but just what a breakfast, 2 baked potatoes. I could not believe it. Unfathomable to me, to my American mind.
Have you seen that guy on social media that makes potatoes like out of a food truck? He's fairly viral, and one of the reasons he's viral is because everyone gets tuna on it.
Yeah, that's a very common thing, like as a school lunch.
Yeah, and for American palate, that's pretty unusual and kind of is out there. But everybody gets it. So yeah, tuna and cheese and beans and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is so British. It's funny to me that someone's like serving that out of a truck.
Yeah.
What does the potato section look like at the grocery store? When you're saying, I need to go get stuff for latke, and you go to a Palm Springs Market or a Tesco, what's that all about?
Thank you so much for asking. When I shopped for potatoes this morning to make these latkes, I was really stressed out because I know you want russet potatoes. Like that's the American calling for latkes, right? Russet potatoes. But here we have they're called different things. There's no such thing as a russet potato. There's Maris Piper is the most easy to find potato. But then there's also always a big box of potatoes called baking potatoes that are sold at every grocery store. And I don't even know what you're supposed to do with those other than bake. I mean, maybe that's your typical chip or roast potato. And then there's red potatoes, baby potatoes, sweet potatoes. There's, 7 different kinds at any given grocery store. So I went for baking potatoes. I figured that's what's going to deliver, a solid base for whatever I need to achieve with this crispy latke.
And have you cooked them already?
Yep.
And they turned out great?
They turned out great. That strange man who came into the room behind me, for those of you watching on video, took the latkes and walked across the street with my children to get them out of here so I could talk to you.
Okay. So everybody's gonna know that you're doing a podcast. There's no, you can't hide it. Like, oh, where's Kate? Oh, Mom's doing a podcast with a weird uncle.
Well, think of it this way. I mean, maybe you're gaining new audience members with the London Jewish community.
I'll take them. So like, subscribe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see. I'm gonna just for the video people already saw this, but like your husband Tom, right when we started recording, walked past the door behind you shirtless, and then when he came back in, he was wearing what? Put a shirt on.
I hope nobody minded that. I'm sure he didn't.
So we've talked a lot of Hanukkah, but let's talk a little Christmas. Like, I guess if I can segue, we were talking about the smoked salmon and smoking fish, and aside from the dolma, which is a big part of my sister and my family Christmas, and my grandma used to always smoke salmon, and it's a hot smoked salmon. She just put the fillets with the skin out on the table, and people would just kind of pick at it. And my grandma's still kicking. She's 99 this year. And a couple of years ago, I was doing a lot of food comics, and I got together with my grandma and like spent a day cooking with her. And I think we filmed it and took pictures. And I turned a few of her recipes into comics. And one of the recipes was her hot smoked salmon recipe. And since we did that comic, I've kind of been in charge of smoking the salmon for Christmas. So I will be doing that this year. And interestingly, like, Adam, I know you're not a big fish buyer, and Kate's got her prestige Scottish smoked fish proprietors that she goes to. But in just grocery store land, my grandma was very into, like, when we did the recipe, she said, I go to Vaughn's or Safeway. I mean, it's Vaughn's in Bakersfield. And she's like, and I get the farm raised, never frozen, but farm raised, like whole salmon fillets. And that's what I like. And that's what makes the salmon the best. I've been doing this recipe. I do it a lot. I do it a few times a year, not just for Christmas, because that's really good. And people that we know are obsessed with it. A friend asked for it for her 40th birthday. She's like, I can have whatever I want for my 40th birthday. All I want is Jef smoked salmon. So
I
I do it a few times a year, and I've messed around with using like higher end salmon or like wild caught but frozen salmon, and it really, the stuff that they have like behind the counter at the grocery store that's like the farm raised, never frozen, that is the best salmon for this particular recipe. Like, I haven't been able to zhuzh it up yet. I've zhuzhed up the spicing and stuff, but the quality of the meat I can't really mess around with. You got to get the classic stuff. So
Now, when they say never frozen, don't they bring it to like just the point of frozen, but not actually frozen? Like, I think that's part of processing. I could be wrong.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a small technicality, which is why they can call it never frozen. But I don't know.
I think we get it like literally 32 degrees, but then they sort of bring it in for like health purposes.
Okay. We will do an episode about this one day. I promise you that. But whatever technicality is, like, that's the stuff that I mess around with. So I've got to go to the salmon. I've got to go to probably Stater Brothers locally and get 2 big fillets of salmon. And my partner's like, maybe get 3 and maybe make an extra one just for like local friends. So.
And what's so interesting to me about this is I don't think Grandma, like experimented with other kinds of salmon. She's probably always bought the same kind of salmon and said, this is the kind of salmon for this recipe. But you are experimenting. Well, it was to figure out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it was probably like a recipe that like came on like the salmon package, 80 years ago. And she's like, oh, smoked salmon, I'll give that a try. And like whatever was printed on the box or like a Betty Crocker recipe card in like, a magazine or whatever has become like our cherished and beloved family recipe. But I'm sure it was just like some, anonymous corporate recipe way back that she found and just hung on to. So.
Yeah. Love that. So I like that you're the salmon guy, Jef.
Yes.
That's a really good role for you. And it's a great party trick, or not party trick, but thing to bring to parties, because no one's going to smoke salmon themselves.
Oh, we do it in the house.
I know you do. I'm not. Adam's not.
Yeah.
Your friend who's celebrating their 40th isn't.
I'm a psycho in the kitchen, so I'm a maniac. What's the Christmas vibe? So London is a famous Christmas town. People love to celebrate it there, right?
Yeah, big time. And I think, like, I remember when Claire Nelson was on the episode, and she talked about like the tradition of Christmas foods and how people hold so fast to like the very specific things on the British Christmas plate. Like, that is it, right? The kid, like, even decorations, like, you'll walk down the high street where there's lots of shops decorated for Christmas, and the windows have Christmas decorations. It'll be like happy Brussels sprouts, decorated in the window, because Brussels sprouts are such a Christmas institution. They're always on the plate. Or like Christmas puddings, which nobody actually likes because they're just ridiculously dense and
what is a Christmas pudding?
Not to anyone's taste. So it's like a fruit cake. That idea of a fruit cake where it's boozy tasting. It's a cake made with brandy, or like there's brandy poured over a cake, and it also has like fruit, candied fruit within that cake. So it's got a real chewy, moist, heaviness to it.
And so you said that the stores on High Street are decorating, but what about the Tesco's? How are they decorating?
Okay. Tesco's decorates too. There's like garland, Brussels sprout garland, paper, pictures of Brussels sprouts garland like over the window, reminding you that that's where you can pick up the Brussels sprouts that nobody likes.
I like Brussels sprouts.
I like
if you cook them right, they're good. Maybe that's an American thing. That's the Brits are making just whack ass Brussels sprouts all the time.
Apparently, they've changed Brussels sprouts have changed in the past 30 years.
Really?
So yeah.
They had a moment.
Well, no, but literally they change. Like
They have.
they've been bred to have more sugar and less bitterness than they used to. So if our parents' generation are like Brussels sprouts or something like that, they weren't completely wrong. That they were when they were kids, they were eating a different Brussels sprout to some degree. I don't know if this is true in Europe, but in the U.S., this is definitely true.
Okay, wow. I look forward to that episode of our show too.
Yeah.
But like 15 years ago, Brussels sprouts were the thing, right? Everyone had like shaved Brussels sprout salad or Brussels sprouts and Parmesan or Brussels sprouts and bacon. And it was very chic after not being on many menus for a long time.
Do you shop with your kids much? Do you take them shopping?
I do. They hate going to the grocery store, which I don't understand. Because part of why I've enjoyed listening to these episodes so much is, Jef, I have such fond memories of our trips to the grocery store. You had to get serious nonsense in the aisles. It was a joy. And in my mind, those the shopping trips took like 2 hours, right? We were there for a really long time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
When in reality, they were probably just like 30 minutes.
Oh, more closely. And I'd love to get into all of that. Well, I know that you've got to run soon. I do want to talk a little bit more Christmas stuff and keep it on brand. We'll bring you back on for another more normal episode. And we can get into our history of grocery shopping when you're not double booked. Try not to double book when we bring you back next time.
Okay. I didn't think I was double booking.
But what's the Christmas stuff when you go down a Christmas aisle in an English grocery store in London? Like, is it candy canes? Like, what's some of the stuff that you're seeing that is familiar to an American, that's unfamiliar to an American? Like, what are your kids into?
Oh, good question. So we don't see lots of candy canes. You see, you know what Brits love? I think over the course of Christmas, between Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day is a day after Christmas where you just sit around and you eat leftovers. I think over the course of those 3 days, people love nibbles. So at Christmas, Tesco and all the grocery retailers will like put out finger foods that you can just open a package and put in the oven. So you'll see wontons and bao buns and samosas and egg rolls and pre-done charcuterie plates, because there's this assumption that everybody's having lots of people over and you need to have lots of finger food and grazing food at the ready. So that's really interesting to me. It doesn't feel right because I always think of a big Christmas dinner as the big Christmas thing, and you don't see all that stuff readily available in the grocery store. Right? There's no display for like the turkeys and the cranberry sauce and the dressing. But then I think about our own Christmas experience and what we've been talking about, and it really is all about the grazing that happens before the meal. So now I'm realizing, like, why am I judging all the egg rolls?
Our big family Christmas, the farm, quote unquote farm Christmas we used to be like, we would do tons of appetizers and everybody would sit down and usually do like a ham. And it has transformed recently into it's all appetizers. Everybody just brings an appetizer. So it's dolma, it's salmon, little cups of prosciutto with macaroni and cheese in them and stuff like that.
That sounds good. That sounds better. I don't know. That sounds better for a party than forcing everybody to sit and I don't know. I guess there's maybe something nice about sharing a meal or whatever, but I don't know. Phrasing is fun.
Yeah. I'm all about that too. And we made that decision as a family at like the height of numbers. It was right when the great grandchildren were like the new generation was introduced, right? We had a bunch of little kids running around that we knew just weren't going to be able to sit at a table, and we're going to ruin the parents' time if they were trying to sit at a table eating a honey baked ham.
Isn't there a chocolate orange or something that's popular in Christmas for Britain? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, it's like an orange, a chocolate piece of chocolate that looks like an orange, and you like crash.
Yeah, it's like
shit.
It's some guy's name, and my partner who's Australian is super into those. Terry's chocolate orange.
That's a Christmas thing, right?
Yes, he put it in the stocking, and I'm not a big chocolate guy to start with. Chocolate and citrus does nothing for me. Like, I don't want chocolate and fruit together typically.
Right.
The combination of chocolate and orange is like not my thing, but my partner loves it. Is that something you mess around with, Adam?
No, I mean, I've had it before. I just think of it as a British Christmas thing, and I don't think I'm wrong. But anyway, yeah.
No, you're not.
It's all right. Whatever. It's fine. I'll have a slice, but I won't be excited to have another one. Yeah.
I know they're there, but I can't say that I like see those in the grocery store. Actually,
Get one. You got to introduce to your kids. It's the British tradition, according
They are
to
British.
the guy in the desert in Hanukkah.
The other thing that turns up in all the grocery stores are Christmas crackers. They're like these tubular, what are they? Like table decorations or table accessories that you put on a place setting. And before you start your meal, everybody has one, and you take it in your right hand and you cross your left hand over your right hand, and you pull one end and your neighbor pulls the other. So essentially you're pulling two, and you open it and there's a little crown inside and a toy or a prize.
We got our first measuring spoons that we ever had from a Christmas cracker, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Is that an Australian thing? Is that something that's in your house?
They're
Because
basically British. Yeah, we do
I
Christmas
know.
crackers in our house
Yeah.
as well. So that's a big tradition where everybody wears the paper crown. And Adam, have you done Christmas crackers in our house?
I don't know about the crossing your arms thing, but I have done it. I don't know why or where, but yes.
Well, and then everybody puts the crown on. So you walk into a pub once the sun goes down this time of year. Every table is wearing the crown, having just opened their Christmas crackers. So they got to be front and center at the grocery store if everybody, for every gathering this time of year, is picking them up.
What's the Christmas cracker selection looking like over there?
Well, they're very pretty. So, Tesco has their specials, like their certain designs, and then Marks and Spencer's has their certain designs, and Sainsbury's has their certain designs, and then they change every year. So I don't know if they commission artists, but they always try to keep it fresh. There's no like standard, paper design for a Christmas cracker.
Mm. And what's some weird American stuff that your kids get in, that you foisted upon your kids that they get made fun of in the schoolyard for being American about, holiday tradition wise?
Oh, holiday tradition. Holiday tradition.
I mean, is there anything that we do here in U.S. America that people don't, that think they like say it's weird in Britain?
I really can't think of anything. I'm sorry to disappoint there, but we just like do the bare minimum for the holidays.
There's a whole genre
I can't think of anything.
on social media of people European people making fun of Americans.
That fair.
And one of them, no, but they're generally wrong. At least the ones that I get, they're wrong. So the one that I saw recently was someone being like, peanut butter and jelly, that is so disgusting. I'm gonna try it. So she went, she got bread and she got peanut butter at Tesco or whatever in the American section, right? And then she got Jell-O because apparently that's what they call jelly.
Yes.
So it's just spread Jell-O on, and she's like, "This is disgusting. I don't know how people could eat this." And anyway, that was the third time. So yeah,
That's pretty accurate. So I just, by nature of being a Southern Californian, I make my kids quesadillas all the time, and we'll have other kids over, and I always have tortillas on hand. I always have a can of refried beans on hand and cheese, and I'll just mash it together and put it in the pan. And that is like, my friends' kids look at me like, "What are you doing? This is disgusting." Meanwhile, my kids go over to their friend's house and they're making toast and putting saucy beans on top of the toast and cutting it into a diagonal. It's like an open-faced bean sandwich. They're like oozing tomato sauce. And my kids are having a hard time with that.
yeah. Former friend of our former guest of the podcast, Hank, said that salsa is really hard to come by. Is that true of where you are?
Absolutely true. Yeah, I don't even F with the salsa here. It's might as well be ketchup.
Okay.
We've always tried to, every time you ask like for us to send you something or bring you something, there's corn tortilla chips.
Yep.
You always ask us to send a particular brand, Havia. And it's always extremely cost prohibitive to send chips to you in London.
That's true. And I'm not sure why you pronounced it Havia.
How do you say it?
Have a corn chip.
Well, there's an apostrophe, so it makes it one word. Havia corn chip.
Like, Jeff, have a corn chip. Adam.
That's not a name
corn
for a
chip.
thing. Okay.
You're like trying to turn it into something fancy. Or Havia brand. You're not feel.
I didn't know I was saying it wrong. Sorry. We will let you
Shut up and have a corn chip.
Yes. This was very fun to have you on. We
Hey,
didn't
it's
get
fun for
into.
you.
Yeah, I thought we'd get into more childhood trauma, but we'll have to have. Well, have you?
Probably for the best.
Oh, look who's back.
Oh, yeah, I thought Tom went to maybe just direct the latkes and came back. All right.
Well,
This has been so fun.
I love you. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Christmas.
I love you too. I love you too, Adam. You know what they say here? Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
I thought it's Havia Christmas.
And happy Christmas and Merry Hanukkah.
Yes.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Adam. Have a corn